Irish. Looks like starting out for the Lady Red will be 6-foot junior, number 10, Leah McKelvey, and 6-foot junior, number 13, Zoe Nixon. We'll also see 5-foot sophomore, Keely Ochoa, number 1 there. Number 5, a 5'10" freshman, Turner Rentschler. Number 20, a 5'5" freshman, Hannah Raby. And lastly, number 24, a 5'7" freshman, Tatum Rentschler. For the Lady Red, we are going to see number 24, a 5'10" sophomore, Callie Cook. Number 23, a 5'8" junior, Jai Rogers. Number 30, a 5'7" sophomore, Olivia Harold. Number 25, a 5'10" junior, Kaya Bell. And wrapping it up for the Lady Irish's team, looks like it's going to be number 19, a 5'5" sophomore, Breslin Francis. As it looks like the Irish will be set to serve first, and in will come number 7 for the Lady Red, a 5'2" senior, Lily Highland, and the libero for the Irish in, as that serve there by Francis received, and it will start off the game with a kill from Leah McKelvey. Sorry guys, I was a little bit behind there on my commentating. I was trying to figure out who everyone is, but the libero is Tegan Ellis, a 5'3" senior. As it looks like we will see number 25 for the Lady Red, 5'6" sophomore, Carper Franklin, back to serve, and we'll also see number 11, a 5'9" senior, Parker Atwood. Franklin's serve is up, and it looks good as it is received there by the Irish. That one is set up for, and that one will go out. That one was number 14, a 5'8" senior, Adeline Kirkpatrick. And so the Lady Red jump out to an early 2-0 lead here with Franklin back to serve. Serve there received by the Irish, set up, and that one will be saved by Highland. Pass up by Tatum Rentschler for McKelvey, and that one will be a kill. Oh, they'll actually call it a net violation for the Irish, as the Lady Red are now up to a 3-0 lead. Franklin's serve is up, and it looks good as it's received by the Irish. Set up here for, looks like Kirkpatrick. Franklin will save that one as Raby sets it up for McKelvey. McKelvey, that one will go down, but it will go down on the Irish side. So that will be 4 unanswered points here in the beginning of this first set for the Lady Red. Franklin once again back to serve. Serve there received by the Irish, and that one was lost by the Irish, as that will be an ace for Carper Franklin, and it looks like Coach Cook for the Irish is going to take a timeout. Score is 5-0 here. Lady Red leading this first set. Coming out of this timeout, the score is 5-0 in favor of the Lady Red here. On the floor for the Lady Red is going to be McKelvey, Atwood, Raby, Tatum Rentschler, Highland, and Franklin. Franklin back to serve for the Lady Red. As that serve is good and received by the Irish. Set up here for Cook, and that one will be a kill by Callie Cook, as that one will get tipped and land on the right side of the Redmond line. As in for Harold, looks like it's going to be number 5. That is a 5'5" senior, Madison Grubb, and she will be back to serve. Serve is received by Highland, set by Tatum Rentschler, spiked by McKelvey, and they will call that one a tip, as that one will go out of bounds, and that will be a point for the Lady Red. So we'll see a couple of substitutions made for the Lady Red. That will be number 9, a 5'6" sophomore Danny Archer, and number 12, a 5'9" junior Kaylin Ifland. Archer to serve. That one looks good, as that one will barely get saved by the Irish, and that one will be a free ball, but a diving play there by Franklin, as Archer will hit that one back out up to McKelvey, but that one will go out of bounds, and that will be an Irish point, as it looks like Ellis for the Irish will come out and Bell will come in. And Cook back to serve for the Irish. Serve there received by Franklin. Pass by Archer up to Atwood. That one couldn't quite get over the net, and that will be another point for the Irish. Cook back to serve once again. As that serve there will be received by Franklin. A little bad though, as Highland ought to pass that one all the way back to Ifland, who just tips it over. And that hit there by Bell. They'll say, I think they'll say we were in the net there. And that one will be a point for the Irish. Cook once again back to serve. Scores 4-6 here in favor of the, or 6-4, sorry, in favor of the Lady Red in this first set. As that one there just hit a little too far off the serve, and Rogers was easily able to put that one down. And Turner Renshaw will come back in for Franklin, and Cook will be back once again to serve for the Irish. Serve is up, and it is that, they will say that one was outside. So that one was a bit of a close one there, but luckily the Lady Red get that point, and Nixon will take the place of Highland, and McKelvey will be back to serve. McKelvey served there, good, received by the Irish. This one's tipped over for a free ball, as McKelvey will pass it to Archer. Archer diving play, but just hits it a little too far, and that one will be an Irish point. Substitution made here for the Irish, as Francis will come out of the game, and it looks like the number 21, a 5'6" senior, Abigail Gaston, will come in. Kirkpatrick back to serve for the Irish. So that one is received by Turner Rentschler. Passed over the net. Oh, I thought that one was over the net, but no, she just passed it backwards, but no one was there for the Lady Red, as the Irish will tie this game up 7-7 here in the first set. Kirkpatrick back once again to serve. Nixon receives it, passes it over to Highland, who will set it back over to Nixon. Nixon tries for the back row hit, but just got on top of that one a little too much, and that one will go into the net, as the Irish will get their first lead of the ball game here. And it looks like Nixon's going to come out of the game. Replacing her will be number 22, a 5'11" sophomore, Emerson Lehman. Kirkpatrick back to serve. Serve there received by Lehman, as Highland will set it up for Lehman. That one will get tipped at the net, as Lehman will just have to hit that one over, giving the Irish a free ball, as this one's set here for Rogers. Hard spike there, gets on the ground, as Jai Rogers gets a point for the Irish. Kirkpatrick once again back to serve. Serve is received by Atwood, who will pass it over to Highland, who passes it to Lehman, who will just have to hit it over, giving the Irish a free ball. Quick set here, and that one will be saved by the Lady Red, but it'll go back over to the side of the Irish. Is that one saved once again by the Lady Red? Spike there by Atwood. That one will go out of the back line, and that one will be another point for the Irish. Kirkpatrick once again back to serve. Atwood will receive it. Archer will pass it over to Ifland, who just has to set it over, as that one will be saved by the Irish, as Rogers will just hit that one over. Renshaw will save it. Archer will pass it over to Atwood, who gets dug by the Irish. There's a spike here, will be blocked by Iflin and Lehman of the Lady Red. And the Lady Red respond with a point of their own after the Irish looked like they were gaining the momentum. Atwood back to serve now for the Lady Red. Serve there is received by the Irish, set up. And that one will be blocked again by Lehman and Iflin. The second one in a row, as that'll be another point for the Lady Red. And Atwood once again to serve. The Irish once again receive, as that one will be tipped and saved by Atwood, as Archer will set it up for Turner Rentschler. That one blocked at the net though, but saved by the Lady Red, as Lehman will hit this one over, as Kirkpatrick will set it up for Rogers. Rogers' hit is out. And we are now back to a tie ball game here in this first set. Score is 10-10. Atwood back to serve. Serve looks good, is received by the Irish, as Kirkpatrick sets it up. And that one will fall for Gaston. And that will be a point for the Irish, as Ochoa will replace Atwood, and Raby will replace Archer. And for the Irish, Grubb will come out, and Harold will come in, as it looks like Rogers back now to serve for the Irish. The serve is up and received by Iflin, set by Raby, and spike by Lehman. As there was a joust at the net, won by Lehman, but the Irish save it, as Turner Rentschler with the hard spike there in between the blockers for the Irish, and that will be a kill for her, and the Lady Red will tie it up once again at 11. This time, Iflin back to serve for the Lady Red. Her serve is up, and it looks good, as it's received by the Irish. Kirkpatrick will set it up there, and that one will be dug by Ochoa, as Highland will pass it to Turner Rentschler, who just hits it over. This one set up once again. Nice sliding save there by Ochoa, as Lehman will just hit that one over, but no one was there for the Irish, and that will be a point for the Lady Red as they get this lead back. Iflin once again back to serve. That serve looks good, as it is set here. And a hard hit there by Harold, and that will be a point for the Irish, as Tatum Rentschler will come in the game, replacing Kaylin Iflin, and Ellis will come into the game, replacing Bell for the Irish. Ellis back to serve. And they will call that one in, as that one barely squeaks its way into the back line, and that will be an ace for the Irish, and they will tie this game back up. Oh, apologies. Actually, the libero is number 10 on our roster, Kennedy Scholes. That's a 5'4" sophomore. As the serve is received there by the Lady Red. A nice dig there by Ochoa, set by Tatum Rentschler. And that one will be a, looks like that one will be a net violation by the Irish. And Nixon will check back into the game to get taken out by McKelvey. But Highland back to serve now for the Lady Red. Serve is received by the Irish, as Rentschler keeps it over on their side, and this one's just going to have to get lightly hit over, as Highland will pass it to Tatum Rentschler, sets it for McKelvey. That one tipped at the net and saved by the Irish. As this time the Irish have a spike of their own, and that one by Harold will go a bit outside. The Lady Red continue to have the 1-point lead, 14-13 here in this first set. And Highland once again back to serve. Good serve there by Highland, as it's received by the Irish, and that one will just get tipped over by Cook. And that will just be a point for the Irish there, as It looks like Francis is going to come in for Gaston, and Francis will be back to serve. Her serve is up, and it looks good as it's received by McKelvey. McKelvey will get the one back, but she swung a little bit early and didn't get all of it, and that will be a point for the Irish as the Irish take the lead back. Francis once again back to serve. Serve is received by Turner Renshaw, but that one will go right back over onto the Irish side. But luckily someone was there for the Lady Red to keep that one alive. As this time it's back over on the Irish side as Cook will tip it. And that one will be saved by Raby as Ochoa will hit that one over. It looked like the one was going out, but the Irish kept it in as Highland will pass to Tatum Rensler, who will set it for McKelvey, who tips it over. That one will be saved by the Irish, as this time we're going to get a set free ball here for the Lady Red, as Raby will just hit it over, and the Irish will keep it alive. Spike here, Harold does not quite get on it, and that will be a point for the Lady Red as the Lady Red tie it back up. A couple of substitutions now as Turner Renshaw will come out and Franklin will come in, and Ochoa will come out and Atwood will come in. Carper now back to serve for the Lady Red. Serve is received by the Irish, as this one will get tipped over, and that one just finds the empty gap in the Lady Red defense. Substitution now for the Irish as Harold will come out and Grubb will come in. Grubb now back to serve for the Irish. And that one will go into the net, and that will be a free point for the Lady Red. As Archer will come in for Raby, and Iflin will come in for Tatum Rensler. Archer now back to serve. Good serve there by Danny, as that one will get received by the Irish, but that one got hit a little far into the net, and that will be an ace for Archer. Lady Red now back on top, 17-16 here in this first set. Once again, Archer back to serve. Good serve there by Danny, as that one will get saved by the Irish, but the Lady Red will get that one back, and that hit by McKelvey will be just a little bit outside, as that will be a point for the Irish. Substitution now as Scholes will take a seat and Bell will come in for her, and this time it will be Cook back to serve for the Irish. Good serve there by Cook, and that will be an ace for the Irish, as that one landed just in front of Franklin, and she didn't quite hit it how she wanted. Cook once again back to serve. Franklin will receive it. Archer will set it up for Iflin. Iflin spikes it, and that one gets stuffed by Bell and Kirkpatrick. And the Irish now will have a 19-17 lead here, with Cook back to serve once again. Serve is another good one by Cook, and Franklin couldn't quite get to that one, as that will be another ace for the Irish. Cook's serve is up, and it looks good, and that one lands right in front of Franklin once again, and that one will be another ace, the third one in a row for the Irish, as Franklin will take a seat and Turner Renshaw will come in. Cook once again back to serve. Her serve is up, and it looks good as that one is received by Turner, set by Iflin, and hit over by Atwood, but saved by the Irish. As we have a tip there that was blocked at the net, but they will call into the net on, looks like it'll be on Leah, and that one will be a point off of an error by the Lady Red. Irish now with a 5-point lead, 22-17 here in this first set. Cook back to serve once again. Serve there received by Rentschler. Archer will set it for McKelvey, and that one will be tipped down onto onto the Irish side, and that will be a point for the Lady Red, as Highland will be replaced by Nixon on the front row, and McKelvey will be back to serve. Good serve there by Leah, as that one is received by the Irish, and that hard spike by Bell finds its way right between two Lady Red players, and that will be a score for the Irish, as Highland comes in for McKelvey and Gaston comes in for Francis. Kirkpatrick now back to serve for the Irish. Rentschler will receive the serve. Archer will set it for Zoe, and that one gets stuffed at the net. Iflin tried to save it, but it ended up going in the stands, as this will now be set point for the Irish. Kirkpatrick once again back to serve. That one is out on the Lady Reds' left side, as they will stay alive in this matchup. Atwood now back to serve for the Lady Red. Serve looks good as it's received by the Irish. And Bell, that one will be out. And that will be another Lady Red point as the Lady Red closes lead to 4. Score 24-20 in this first set in favor of Chapman. Serve by Atwood is up. It looks good, and it's received by the Irish, as this one will be set up and will be dug by Lady Red, as Turner Rentschler, that one will get tipped out of bounds, and that will be another point for the Lady Red, as they are going on a little bit of a run here. Let's see if they can close this gap. And it looks like Coach Cook for the Irish is going to take a timeout. Score is 24-21 in this first set. Irish lead. Back now from the timeout. Score is 24-21 in favor of the Irish here in this first set. Lady Red, though, are closing the lead as they have gone on a pretty good run here to end off the set. Atwood back to serve now for the Lady Red. So service received by the Irish. This one will be set up, and this one will be dug by Atwood, as Highland will pass it over to Turner Rentschler, who tips it over. And that one will be saved by the Irish. There's a hard hit there, is blocked by Nixon and Iflin. And that one, another hit over, will be dug out by Iflin. This time Turner Rentschler hits it over, and the Irish will get the ball back, as Bell this time with the spike. And this time, a good hit at the net by Iflin, but it will still be saved, as Nixon now will get a chance to hit that ball. And that one will go out a little weird, as the Irish hit that one off to the back. Lady Red now closes this lead to 2 points, as Atwood is back to serve once again. Good serve there by Parker, as that one will be received by the Irish. This time the Irish will spike it, but it'll get saved by Atwood, as this time Turner Rentschler tries to hit it over, but someone is there for the Irish, as this one is tipped, but saved by Nixon, as Nixon will hit this one back over, and that one will find the back corner, as Zoe keeps the Lady Red alive. Score is 24-23. Lady Red coming back down by quite a bit in this set. They're on a good run here. Atwood back to serve. Serve is received by the Irish. And this one will be, that one just gets over the Lady Red blockers, and the Irish squeak this one out 25-23. Good play there at the end by the Lady Red, but not quite enough, as we will see what happens in this second set. Start of the second set here in the Lady Reds game against the Irish. In the first set, Chapman ends up winning this one 25-23 after the Lady Red went on quite a big run but dug himself in a hole that they really couldn't crawl out of. As now on the court for the Lady Red will be McKelvey, Atwood, Raby, Tatum Rentschler, Highland, and Franklin. As we will see Carper now back to serve for the Lady Red to start off this second set. Good serve there is received by the Irish. As the spike there by Cook will go outside, and that will be the first point of the second set and the first point for the Lady Red. Franklin back to serve. Another good serve received by the Irish as this one is set here. And that one will also be out as Harold gets that one out past the back line. As this will be 2 in a row for the Lady Red. Franklin once again back to serve. Serve there received by the Irish. This time set for Kirkpatrick, and that one will find the floor as the Irish finally get on the board this first set. Substitution made here as Grubb will come in for Harold, and it looks like Grubb will be back to serve for the Irish. Serve is received by Lady Red there and hit over by McKelvey. That one was a hard hit. That one was tipped backwards towards the back wall, and McKelvey will get the kill. Archer now comes in for Raby, and Iflin now comes in for Tatum Rentschler. Archer now back to serve. And that was a very good serve, just barely saved there by the Irish as McKelvey will pass it up to Archer, who gives it back to McKelvey, who tips it. That one barely saved by the Irish as this one there, tipped by the Irish, saved by Archer as Iflin will set it up for McKelvey. McKelvey will try to save that one, but just hits it a bit too hard, and the Irish will get the point. As it looks like Scholes will come out and Bell will come in for the Irish, and Cook will be back to serve. Serve received by Highland, set by Archer for McKelvey. McKelvey's hit gets tipped by the Irish as Kirkpatrick's spike gets absolutely stuffed by the pair of McKelvey and Atwood. As Highland will come out of the game now and Nixon will go in on the front row. McKelvey back to serve. Her serve is up and good. Received by the Irish. Set here for Bell. And that one is spiked but saved. This time, Atwood will just hit it over the net, giving the Irish a free ball. As this set here by the Irish, it'll lead to a tip over, saved by Archer, then another save by Ifland as McKelvey will hit this one back over. And this time Franklin will pass it to Archer, who sets it up for Nixon. Zoe's hit gets tipped and saved as Kirkpatrick will set it up for Rogers. Rogers' hit goes into the net, and that one will hit the floor. Lady Red now out to a 5-2 lead here in the second set. McKelvey once again back to serve. Leah's serve is good as it's received by the Irish. Bell will just hit this one over, but not quite, as that one will go into the net, and the Lady Red get another point. Lady Red on a bit of a run here to open off this second set as McKelvey back to serve. And that serve will go into the net, so it'll be a point for the Irish. A couple of substitutions as Highland comes in for McKelvey, and Gaston will come in for Francis. This time Kirkpatrick back to serve for the Irish. Serve is received by Highland, set by Archer. And Zoe will just tip that. Zoe will tip that one over. And it looks like they're going to call that Irish point. Yeah, there we go. They're saying that it was a tip, but it was a tip in favor of the Lady Red, as Nixon will end up getting that point here as Atwood comes back to serve. Atwood's serve is good, received there by the Irish, as that spike there will get saved by Highland, but no one was there to help to recover, as that one will be a point for the Irish. As a substitution made here, Grubb will come out and Harold will come in for the Irish, and it looks like Rogers will be back to serve. Rogers' serve received by Ochoa. That one will go right into the net, and that one cannot be saved by Ochoa, by Archer, as that one will be an ace for the Irish. Rogers once again to serve, as that one will be short right into the net, as there's been a lot of service errors here by the Irish in this game, as Raby will come in for Archer. Iflin now back to serve for the Lady Red. Good serve there, as that one's received by the Irish. Set in the middle. They just tipped that one far, but Ochoa saves it, as Highland will pass it to Turner Rentschler, and she will get that one over. This time a tip saved by Ochoa, pass to Raby, who sets it for Nixon. That one blocked, as Iflin will set this one up for Rentschler. That one tipped, as now the Irish can have a spike of their own, and they don't. They choose to tip it, as Ochoa's right there and passes it to Raby, who passes it to Turner Rentschler, and Rentschler's spike will find the ground, and that will be a point for the Lady Red now. Lady Red leading by 4, 5-9 in this second set. Iflin now back to serve. Good serve there, as that was received by the Irish. Spike here is stuffed by the Lady Red, as this time Raby will set it up to Turner Rentschler, and this time it bounces back over to the Lady Red side, as Nixon tries the 2-on-1 joust, and it ends up getting tipped and falling onto the Lady Red side. Tatum Rentschler now will come in for Iflin. And Scholes back to serve. Serve there received by Ochoa. Set by Tatum Rentschler for Turner. And that one will be blocked, as Tatum Rentschler now will set this one for Raby. That one is also blocked and tipped. And the Irish will get a tip to go over onto the Lady Red side, and the Lady Red are not there to save it, as the lead grows to 2. 9-7 in the second set. Scholes back to serve for the Irish. Serve received by Raby, set up by Ochoa, and then just hit over by Raby, as Kirkpatrick now this time will set this one up for Cook, and that one will be called out, as Nixon will come out and McKelvey will come in, and Highland now back to serve. Lily served good, as it's received by the Irish. This time it was tried to get tipped over. McKelvey was having none of it, and she just tips it back over onto the Irish side. No one was there, and that was a point for the Lady Red. Highland once again back to serve. That serve received by the Irish, this time set up for Cook once again, and that one will hit the line judge, and they'll actually call a tip. So that one will actually be a point for the Irish, as this time Gaston will take a seat and Francis will come in to serve. Francis' serve is received. Oh, Ochoa tried to run up on it, didn't get there in time, and that will be an ace for the Irish, as they cut this lead down to 1, I believe. Maybe 2. Francis' serve is received by Ochoa. Tatum Rentschler will set it up for Raby. That one gets tipped, and that one they try to tip it back over, and that one will end up staying saved by the Irish. And that one was a heck of a hit there by McKelvey, and the Lady Red continue to keep this lead. Turner Rentschler now will come out for Carper Franklin, and Atwood will go in for Ochoa. Franklin's serve is up and looks good as it's received by the Irish. Set here for Kirkpatrick. That spike will be dug by Highland. And Tatum tried to pass it up to Parker. That one will be on the other side of the pole and will be an Irish point. Substitution now is Harold will come out for the Irish and Grubb will come in, and Grubb will be back to serve. Serve there received by Franklin. A save there by Tatum, and a little bit of miscommunication between Highland and Atwood, as that will be another Irish point, and the Irish close the lead back to 1, 12-11 in this second set. Grubb now serving. Serve is received by Franklin, set by Tatum, and that hit there by McKelvey will be outside, and the Irish tie this game up at 12. Grubb now to serve. Serve is received by Highland, pass by Tatum to McKelvey. That one gets tipped at the net by the Irish, as Rogers now will spike this one over. Highland will save it, Tatum will set it, and Parker will spike it, but it was dug by the Irish, as that one tipped, that spike by Kirkpatrick, and that will be a point for the Irish, as the Irish gain the lead back for the first time since very early in this set. Grubb once again to serve. Raby will receive it. Tatum will back set it for Raby, and that one will get tipped at the net by the Irish, as this time it looks like Cook will try to do a back row hit, but the Lady Red are there, and that one gets blocked by the Irish as the Lady Red are struggling to save it, and that one will be called out. Is that one just a hair too far, and the Irish will get the lead 14-12 here in the second set. Coach K wants a timeout. We shall see how the rest of this set plays out. Coming out of this timeout, the score is 14-12 in favor of the Irish. Lady Red had quite a big lead, but the Irish have closed this one down. On the floor for the Lady Red will be Tatum, Rentschler, Atwood, McKelvey, Highland, Franklin, and Raby. Grubb now back to serve for the Irish, as McKelvey will receive it. Tatum will set it for Atwood. Atwood's hit gets blocked by Cook and Kirkpatrick, and that one will be another point for the Irish. Grubb now back to serve. That serve barely saved by Raby, as Rentschler will give him a free ball here, as this one will be set for Rogers. That one gets blocked at the net, and the Irish could not recover, as that will be a much needed point for the Lady Red. Couple substitutions now, as Archer will come into the game for Raby, and Iflin will come into the game for Rentschler. Archer back to serve for the Lady Red. Good serve there by Danny, as that one is saved by the Irish, and a diving save there by Lily after that hit by the Irish. And the Irish get this one back, and a hard hit there by Cook, and that one saved by Franklin, but saved a little bit too far, as that one will go out of bounds on the Irish side and will be a point for them. And Scholes will take a seat, as Bell will come in for the Irish, and Cook back to serve. Highland will receive the serve, and this one spiked by Rogers as that one got saved right back onto the Irish side, and a quick spike there will be another point for the Irish. Score is now 17-13 in favor of Chapman. Cook once again back to serve. Cook's serve is received by Highland. Archer will backset it to McKelvey, and that hard hit there will not be saved by the Irish, as that will be a kill for Liam McKelvey. Highland now will go to the bench as Nixon will replace her. McKelvey now back to serve for the Lady Red. Serve looks good as it's received by the Irish, and the Irish will just tip this one over. Diving save there by McKelvey as Archer will tip it up to Nixon. Nixon tips it over, but it is saved by the Irish as Bell, this time with the spike, gets tipped but finds the empty gap in the Lady Red defense. As Highland will replace McKelvey, and it looks like Gaston is going to replace Francis. Kirkpatrick back to serve. Serve is received by Highland as Archer will pass it to Nixon. Nixon's spike gets ricocheted between the two blockers, and that will be a kill for Zoe and a point for the Lady Red. Turner Rentschler now into the game for the Lady Red. As Atwood will be back here to serve. Serve is received by the Irish, and this one will get set up as Lilly will barely save that one as Archer will set it up for Rentschler. That one also saved by the Irish, as the back row hit there by the Irish will be stopped by the Lady Red. And the spike from Turner Rentschler will find its way between the two blockers, and that will be another point as the Lady Red close this lead. Atwood back to serve. Her serve looks good as it's received by the Irish. And a hard spike there, and Iflin cannot get to that one, as that will be a point for the Irish. As Ochoa will come in for Atwood, and Harold will come in for Grubb for the Irish. And it looks like Rogers is going to be back to serve. Serve there received by Iflin, set by Archer for Turner Rentschler. That one will be tipped. A diving save there by Kirkpatrick for the Irish, as that one will stay in. Archer sets it up for Nixon. Zoe's hit will get tipped, and that will be a point for the Lady Red. Raby will come in for Archer. The score is 19-17 here in the second set. The Irish are leading. Iflin now back to serve. There's a good serve there by Iflin. Barely saved by the Irish as it is set over. And this time Turner Rentschler there. And that will be a good spike as that one will hit off of the sidewall. And the Lady Red close this lead by the Irish down to just one. Iflin once again back to serve for the Lady Red. Serve there is received by the Irish. Set here for Harold. That spike is blocked. Oh, they won't call it blocked. They will say that one was 4 hits. And we now have a tie ball game as Coach Cook and the Irish are going to take a timeout. We are all even up here at 19-19 in this second set. Coming out of the timeout now, score is all evened up at 19 in the second set. Lady Red need to win this one if they want to force a third. Chapman won the first set 23-25. This time Iflin back to serve for the Lady Red as that serve is received by the Irish. Set up here for Harold. That one is tipped and saved barely, and it looks like there is going to be a line. It looks like she crossed the line, and that one will be a point as the Lady Red gain the lead. Iflin now back to serve. Serve is received by the Irish. Set here, and Spike is into the net, and they will call that one a lift as the Lady Red jump out to a 2-point lead, 4 points away from forcing that third set. Iflin back to serve. Serve looks good as that one will go right back over to the Lady Red side as Iflin will set it up for Nixon. Zoe will just set it over, and the Irish are right there to take it. This hit there, saved by Highland, as Zoe will hit that one over, and a little bit of miscommunication there between Nixon and Turner Rentschler as the Irish finally respond. Cook now is going to come in for Bell, and Tatum Rentschler is going to come in for Iflin. Scholes back to serve for the Irish. Serve there received by Ochoa. And this time, oh, good tip there. Great tip by Turner Rentschler, finding the open gap, as that will be a point for the Lady Red as they are now 3 points away from closing off this set. McKelvey now comes in for Nixon. And Highland back to serve for the Lady Red. Serve there received by the Irish. Set up here as Cook will hit it over, but it is saved by Tatum Rentschler as Turner Rentschler hit that one into the net, and the Irish will stay alive. Another substitution here as Gaston comes out and Francis comes in for the Irish, and it looks like Francis is going to be back to serve. Serve there received by Ochoa, but instantly went right back over to the Irish side. But a free ball there by the Lady Red as Francis will set this one up for Cook. And that spike will find the sideline and will stay in as we are tied once again here, 22-22 in this second set. Francis once again back to serve for the Irish. Serve there received by Ochoa as the same thing happens, but this time Harold misses that spike. She swung a little bit early, and that will be a point for the Lady Red. Couple substitutions now as Franklin will come in for Turner Rentschler and Atwood will come in for Ochoa. Carper now serving, looking to end off this set. Serve is received by the Irish. Set up here for Kirkpatrick as that one will be saved by Highland. Set by Tatum Rentschler for Atwood. That one will be blocked by the Irish as McKelvey will have to give this one back over to the Irish as that one hit a little awkwardly there by Chapman as Franklin can save that one, but it goes into the net a couple times, and the Irish will stay tied at 23 in this second set. Substitution now as Harold will come out and Grubb will come in for the Irish. Grubb serve is up and received by Franklin, but that one will go right into the net, and that will be an ace for the Irish. The Irish now at game point number 1. Score 24-23 in favor of Chapman. Let's see if the Lady Red can force a third set. Grubb now back to serve once again as this set is received by Raby, set by Tatum Rentschler, spiked by McKelvey, but that one is blocked by the Irish, and there's a little bit of miscommunication there as the Irish will take this set once again with a score of 25-23. That will be the game as Chapman sweeps the Lady Red. We will now be moving into the other gym in a little bit where we will watch our Lady Red finish off this tournament playing the Republic County Buffaloes.